Democrats are not going to save us. Once again, Democratic leader Chuck Schumer has announced that he will vote to keep the government open, signaling a path to averting a shutdown. These goddamn cowards, dude. Senator Schumer is not forcing the Republicans to concede on anything and not using the remaining power, the marginal power that the minority party has at its disposal to get Republicans to concede in order to avert a government shutdown. Insane stuff.
The federal government will shut down tomorrow at midnight. I have said many times there are no winners in a government shutdown. But there are certainly victims.
I don't have any confidence in the Democrats, but they did say that they were going to fight back against this yesterday and that there wasn't going to be 60 votes for this and that they would have pushed it into a filibuster, or they would have, pushed the Republicans to come back and bargain with them and get some assurances. I wanted them to do that. I urged people to do that. I thought the Democrats, at least judging by their response initially, would do that potentially, but I have no real firmly held convictions about the Democrats doing the right thing ever. So the reality is, this is the bare minimum. Okay, what they're supposed to be doing here, what Chuck Schumer is doing here right now, is beyond lower than the bare minimum. It is alarming. Everything sucks. We're so done, dude. We are so done. Every day that goes by, I'm like, I don't know what the alternative is, but god damn, it hasn't always been this way. It's never been this bad. It's never been this bad. This is a new level of depravity and a new level of cowardice from the Democrats. Why are you so doomer? We're going to get a fire-ass Dem TikTok dance over this? I'm going to Brian Kill Me. I'm going to become Brian Kill Me. Oh my God.
The most vulnerable Americans who rely on federal programs to feed their families. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America.
So Republicans have basically trapped the Democrats in this situation where if they force a government shutdown, the government shuts down. If they don't force a government shutdown, they permanently shut down federal agencies. That is where we're at. It was bad during the Reagan years. Trump is a modern Reagan, but even worse, God help us. We are so cooked. I don't see any way out of this other than Trump triggering the second Great Depression at this point. Like straightforward business plot succeeds style American fascist governance during a Great Depression style economic collapse. And there is no, the Democrats are not going to help us. They've lost the stencil.
Democrats, you are being betrayed. It just came out that Chuck Schumer, the minority leader in the Senate, is pushing the caucus to vote.
That's crazy. Will Stancil is on the Democrats. Holy that's like Matt Iglesias is the one person left out there. Like once Matt Iglesias is like, God damn, Democrats, I didn't think you'd cave this hard. Is done. They got no one left.
Yes, for cloture, to close debate on Trump's funding bill. This would allow Democrats to lie and pretend they oppose the bill while taking a vote that would ensure the bill passes. This is their only leverage over Trump, and for months they've been saying they're going to use this bill to force negotiations with Trump to cut Trump's power and Elon Musk's rampage through the government. But now, with the opportunity to do so, they're giving up their leverage without a fight because they're scared to use it. They're not even trying. They are betraying you. Primary Chuck Schumer, primary every last one of them if you have to. This is unacceptable. They're not fighting. They are leaving you to rot.
Republicans are school shooters and Democrats are the cops. Unfortunately, Democrats are the cops from Uvalde. I saw someone else say this before you, by the way. Don't try to yoink it from another chatter. And I suspect that other chatter probably saw it on Twitter. But it is true. We are the school children. The Democrats are the Uvalde cops. And the Republicans are the school shooter, straight up. Schumer is right. Dems are understandably spoiling for a fight, but this was not it. The idea that there was a leverage and a shutdown was magical thinking. It'd be a gift to Doge. More people would be hurt, and it would have ended in a worse deal. This is correct. All my friends in DC are hopping mad about the way we are getting screwed on this bill. I am also mad. So it's especially hothouse environment for Hill staffers and members. A shutdown is itself Doge on steroids. Elon would declare whatever minority federal workers he doesn't want to fire, essential furlough everyone else, and declare victory. You'd end up with the Democrats begging the GOP to pass a CR and bring the workers back. This is what the Democrats' copium was on this issue. No, they wouldn't. A shutdown goes in either direction. Okay, nobody likes it. Nobody wants it. It's not beneficial to the Republican Party. People are coping when they claim that like, oh, it would be Doge on steroids. It's a lie. This was cope coming from some of the Democrats who were like, a government shutdown is exactly like Doge. You know, they're just shutting down certain government offices that they don't like and keeping others open. The problem is that is not a good position for the administration to be in, which is precisely why there is a very limited amount of time that they will entertain it. Because a lot of people, a lot of federal government workers being furloughed is insanely unpopular, and it will very quickly turn sour for the administration in charge. Having said that, however, allowing this to push through, allowing this supposedly clean continuing resolution to be pushed through will cause permanent damage to those federal agencies anyway, especially without assurances. This is unacceptable. And their meta here is going to be that they're going to vote no on the clean resolution, but they're going to vote for closure so that there's no necessity for a filibuster-proof majority. And therefore, they're basically saying, yeah, we're not going to fight back. We're going to let this pass. It is the cowardly way of letting it pass while simultaneously making it seem like you voted against it. It's no different than voting yes for it. Dem CR Watch, Michigan U.S. Senator Elisa Slotkin affirms that she will vote no, said during evening town hall she wants assurances that Elon Musk and Doge won't stray away from Congress. What Congress appropriates has not gotten assurance. There's no language you could add to any bill that would avoid the looming Supreme Court showdown about the constitutionality of the Impoundment Control Act. If SCOTUS says that's good law, then it's good law. If they say it's unconstitutional, no writer changes that. Here is AOC on this issue.
Republican extreme spending bill removes all of the guardrails and all of the accountability measures to ensure that money is being spent in the way that Congress has directed for it to be spent. This turns the federal government into a slush fund for Donald Trump and Elon Musk. It sacrifices congressional authority, and it is deeply partisan. And so to me, it is almost unthinkable why Senate Democrats would vote to hand the few pieces of leverage that we have away for free when we've been sent here to protect Social Security, protect Medicaid, and protect Medicare.
There's also this part from AOC. AOC later sidesteps questions from Jake Tapper on if she challenged Schumer for a Senate seat. I think that what we need right now is a unified Senate Democratic caucus that can stand up for this country and not vote for cloture and not vote for this bill. And I think that the strength that we have is in this moment. Reconciliation. Republicans do not need Democratic votes for that. They need it for this. And so the strength of our leadership in this moment is going to demonstrate the strength of our caucus. And I cannot urge enough how bad of an idea it is to empower and enable Donald Trump and Elon Musk in this moment. It is dangerous. It is reckless. Asked if she thinks Schumer's a weak Senate leader considering his reported support for cloture, AOC responds, I think that would be a mistake. We have time between now and tomorrow, and I hope that individuals are considering that. Reconsider it. The Democratic Party is led by the politician equivalent of the dad who went out for cigarettes and never came back. Let's see what Chuck Schumer is saying on Chris Hayes.
I understand why they're so upset with the CR, but I disagree with them because the shutdown would be worse for their employees. They could just eliminate huge portions of government workers automatically. They could eliminate programs automatically, which they can't do on the CR. The CR has certain spending, and they can screw around with it, and they will. These guys are sons of guns. They're going to do everything they can to hurt the government. You know what they've talked about. Elon Musk, this billionaire who cares nothing about taking people's Social Security away. This guy says that he wants to cut $2 trillion out of the federal government. A shutdown would allow him to do it. And here's another point, Chris. There's no exit ramp.
No, it wouldn't.
Anyone who wants the shutdown, I'd ask them.
No, you're making it seem like the Republicans don't. The Republicans want a shutdown. They don't.
So
this is a lie. It would be unimaginably unpopular for the Republicans to get to a shutdown without conceding at any point to the Democrats. The president always owns the shutdown.
Right? Democrats don't control any part of the government. So there's not a ton of leverage. The one thing they have leverage is in the Senate where you need a filibuster-proof majority on a cloture vote. That there's essentially an unconstitutional...
I'm going to be honest with you, Chuck Schumer knows this. This is compliance. They're complicit. They're complicit.
These guys are the worst, and we got to fight them every step of the way. As we say in Brooklyn, Chris, every step.
But look, Russ Vought is already telling people, but he's telling people on the floor, we are not even going to listen to this CR. This is a piece of paper that we will impound and rip up the moment it's passed. If that's the case, how is voting for cloture not essentially an imprimatur on the very same assault on the constitutional order.
They're already, even without this CR, they're already doing it.
Right.
Okay? They did it to the Department of Education. But I can tell you, I've been through shutdowns before. It's not that this CR is good. It's not that voting for it is good. It's horrible. But the alternative is worse. And we have to look just a month ahead and see how bad a shutdown would be for all the things we believe in, and how I'd say Trump and Doge and Musk and Vogt, they're like drooling with happiness and desire to get a government shutdown. They've said they want it. Why? Not for doing anything good, I'll tell you that. These guys are authoritarians.
Which is why we're showing our belly to them.
Final question about just an issue of intercameral strategy. I mean, the Democrats voted en masse against this in the House. They lost only one vote, Jared Golden in Maine. I've seen a lot of House members, and across an ideological range, interestingly enough, urging the Senate to filibuster this, saying, look, this is existential about whether we control the power of the purse or not. We cannot essentially sign off on this Doge unilateral arrogation of this power.
Yeah, look, I
Do they have it wrong?
I supported what the House did to vote against this bill universally, but that didn't cause a shutdown. It's different in the Senate. And I knew people were going to disagree with me, but I felt so strongly that the shutdown would be the greatest disaster we face with these arrogant autocrats, that we had to avoid the shutdown and fight on many of the other things, every other issue that we have.
All right, Senator Chuck Schumer, who's the leader of the Democrats in the Senate, announcing he will be a yes for cloture tomorrow. I imagine you will have the 6 or so other votes you need to get that over the hump. Thank you, sir. Come on anytime with late breaking news, and we can do this whenever you want.
Thank you, Chris. Nice to
Appreciate
talk
it.
with you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I can't. It's unbelievable, dude. It is unbelievable. Schumer tells me Republicans might try to jam Democrats again in September, but thinks Trump will be less popular then, and Republican appropriators might be more willing to stand up to him. He said he refused to do so now. Oh my God, he is so stupid. Oh my God. Okay, for those of you who don't understand, can you explain why he's complicit? Just wanting to understand more, not debate. I will. In order for this continuing resolution to pass, to fund the government, to avert a government shutdown, the Republicans need a filibuster-proof majority. There's one way that the Democrats can stop that from happening, which is to say that they're going to filibuster it. They need 60 votes in the Senate. They already have the House majority, but they need 60 votes in the Senate. But they don't have 60 votes in the Senate. The only Democrat that has said they would vote for this ahead of time was John Fetterman. But John Fetterman gets canceled out by Rand Paul, because Rand Paul said he would not vote for it. On the Republican side, John Fetterman on the Democrat side said he would vote for it. So there's still Democratic support that they need, okay? They need more Democratic support to get to the filibuster-proof majority. This is historically the only way for the minority party, the party not in power, to be able to force concessions from the majority party, the party in power. The Democrats and Republicans both historically have used this, especially Republicans have used this opportunity to, edge towards a government shutdown with the hopes of getting Democrats to back down from certain things they want to pass through a CR. And they've been fairly successful in the past, because no matter what happens, it's always the responsibility of whoever is in charge. It's the White House's fault in the eyes of the American population. So the American population would look to all the furloughs and all the media coverage on, the hundreds of thousands of federal government workers no longer going into work, and the economic crisis that is on the verge of happening. And they would blame the party in charge, the Republicans, in this regard. This is precisely the reason why the Republicans would inevitably concede on certain issues and make it seem as though, at the very least, like the Democrats are fighting back. Like, give them a victory, give them a W, right? If they were to play ball. Except the Democrats right now, backed by Chuck Schumer, are waving the white flag. They initially had said for months that they would use the continued resolution as a battle, and maybe even force the government to go into a shutdown if necessary, to make sure that they had certain assurances. And Chuck Schumer today, up until yesterday, he was saying he was going to not vote for it, that the Republicans didn't have the votes for it. But as of today, Chuck Schumer has waved the white flag. They're going to vote for closure so that, this can pass without a filibuster-proof majority, and the Republicans have the votes to pass it without a filibuster-proof majority once that happens. That is what's going on here. They're not using the only weapon they have to wield against the majority party, and they're giving it up without a single fight while wearing these goddamn socks. Why the flop from Schumer? I think in the past I would have told you it's because they're cowards, but I think they're just, or that they're stupid. But I think it's because they're complicit. Like, they don't care. They like the austerity. They enjoy it. They love it. They love that it's like the Republicans doing it. They think that this will ruin the American economy. They think that this will create a lot of anger and resentment towards the Republicans, and then they can comfortably ride that anger into a narrow, marginal victory. They can farm donations for the next 3 years and then inevitably win the election again. I don't even know if that's the case. I don't even know if that will happen, for the record. I don't even know if the Democrats will ever win again, because goddamn, they're so pathetic. Having said that, however, this is the case in front of us now. This is what's happening currently. It is insane. It is unacceptable.